Hey, everybody, welcome back to Sisters at the Cinema. This is Valerie,
This is Amanda.
and today we are bringing you Proud Mary. Now, this is my first time seeing it. Amanda's seen it before, but we thought,
Mm-hmm.
why not end Black History Month with Proud Mary? It's like a new version of, the old black exploitation movies. That's what it reminds me of. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's the Pam Grier role? Nah,
Foxy Brown or
thank you. Yes, I'm like, I know this. Why it's not coming to me? But yeah. So Proud Mary.
mm-hmm.
You want to give us the synopsis?
Sure. Proud Mary is a 2018 action crime drama and thriller. It says Mary is a hit woman working for an organized crime family in Boston whose life is completely turned around when she meets a young boy whose path she crosses when a professional hit goes bad. We have Taraji P. Henson as Mary, and I believe this is our first Taraji movie, right?
Oh wow, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Billy Brown as Tom.
Hey Billy, we go way back.
Right on. If you have seen How to Get Away with Murder,
Mm-hmm.
then you are quite familiar with Billy Brown.
That's right.
We have, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Jahai Diallo Winston as Danny.
Okay.
And then we have Danny Glover. Look at that.
Yes. Look
As
at Mister.
Benny. Mm-hmm. He done came a long way.
Right.
Neil McDonough as Walter.
Mm.
Margaret Avery, or Suge Avery as we know her, as
Yes.
Mina.
Look at Suge and
And
Mister back together again.
uh-huh. That's
I
right.
didn't even think about that.
I did.
That's too funny.
I did. And Xander Berkeley as Uncle. And I think I'm gonna stop there because those are
Okay.
our main players.
Yeah.
You ready to dive on into this?
Let's dive on in. So the movie starts. We see Mary. They showing her. She getting her workout in, getting some push ups going, and
Mm-hmm.
then she's getting ready to go out. And so she goes to this closet full of guns, puts on a little blonde wig, and then she gets like to this hotel room or apartment and shoots the lock out. Goes in
Mm-hmm.
there. She has her silencer on. She takes some dude out and then goes looking through the house, goes to the back room and sees a little boy playing video games. And she seems surprised
Mm-hmm.
and backs out the room. And but on her way leaving, she grabs a picture of him and takes it with her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because I don't think she expected anybody else to be there.
Yeah,
Especially not a kid.
right. 'Cause that could be ugly.
Yep, because what if he had seen her
Mm-hmm.
or heard something?
Yeah.
Because she did actually speak when
Oh,
she,
that's true.
because the phone was ringing and she said, "Don't answer that."
You're
Pow
right.
pow.
Mm-hmm. You're right about it.
hmm So after she walks out, the screen says 1 year later,
Mm-hmm.
and now we see the boy, and he is selling drugs.
Whole thing.
Poor thing.
Ruin his life.
Look what Mary done drove him
Right.
to. And so he is selling drugs to some guy who tries to get by and only pay
Mm-hmm.
25 when he owed 30.
Yes.
And he like, we don't take this lightly. And this
Mm-mm.
young man pulled out a gun.
That boy don't play.
He don't play because I don't know how old would you say he's supposed to be?
About 11, 10.
Yeah,
So
right.
he little.
He little, and he pulled that gun out, And that guy was like, it's some money over there.
Uh huh.
Take what I owe.
Yep.
What did he do? He
He
walked
took it
over and
all.
took everything.
He took it all. He said, "That's for lying." Like, you
Right.
lied. Trying to get over. Think he gonna get
Uh-huh.
over because he a kid. Not today, sir.
Nope, he was prepared. I said,
Yeah.
okay.
Next we see him eating,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's sitting out by some water, and we see Mary pull up,
Mm-hmm.
and she sees him, and she just shakes her head, and I thought that was interesting because I hadn't. This is my second time watching it, because I'm doing my notes, but I was like,
Mm-hmm.
hmm, something I didn't catch the first time, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't catch it either time.
Oh, yeah, I
I
didn't
mean,
catch
I
it the
saw her
first.
looking,
Yeah.
but I didn't catch that she shook her head.
Yeah, okay. Just even the fact that she was watching him. Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
catch the first one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nope. I think she probably been following him for a while.
right. And yeah, I missed that on the first one. So
Oh, okay. I thought you just meant the shaking of the head.
gotcha. So the little boy goes and talks to this guy who seems to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
But then he says, "You got crumbs on your shirt. I ain't give you money to buy anything to eat." I
Mm.
said, "Dang, got him out
Dang.
here doing your dirty work, and the boy can't get nothing to eat."
Can't get nothing to eat.
So he said that means you took it out the bag. So that's how we really learn this boy is running drugs for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so the boy tells him he used some of the money to get something to eat, like $3, okay,
Right. Yep.
and then put the rest back. And he says, and I got some extra money from the dude because he tried to step us.
Right. He said I got an extra $500.
Right, and I'm thinking he could have kept that for
He
himself.
could have kept that. I thought the same
Yeah,
thing.
he didn't even have to give that to you.
So didn't.
But the dude's so mean. He like, that don't mean
Mm-hmm.
you can steal from me.
Right.
He
That
did not
500.
care.
That 500. He says it's still mine.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I
Mm.
was like, unless Danny was nervous that the other guy was gonna tell him that, oh, he took extra money.
Oh.
That's the
Yeah.
only thing I was like, he could be worried about that.
Yeah.
Because of course then if the dude find out he kept $500, he would have to really be in trouble.
Right. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Wow.
Yeah, so he's like, "Don't we feed you here? You're not starving." And
Mm.
then he smacked that little boy. Smacked him
Smacked
so
him
hard.
good and hard.
Yeah, he bumped all into the cabinets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
he says, "This is the second time you stole from me, and if it happens again, I'm gonna cut your hand off and put it in the refrigerator." I said, "Ooh,
Mm.
Danny is caught up in the life." Okay,
Right.
as a young kid, he's supposed to be on the playground somewhere.
Right.
Whole thing.
Mm-hmm. So then he leaves, and po thing, he sits down on a bench because he done got knocked out, and
Cause he
so he
bleeding
out
and
kind of out of it.
yeah.
And so he lays down on a bench and puts his backpack under his head so he can try and just rest.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most tired 11-year-old I've ever seen.
Okay.
And as soon as he lay down,
Mm.
somebody run by and grabs his backpack and
Yep.
runs off.
Yep.
And so he has to get up and chase him.
You got to, cause he
Yep.
got dude stuff in there.
Yep. So he
So.
gets up and chases him, and he can't catch him, but he got his gun out and shot a few shots to kind of warn him.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude dropped his bag.
Yeah.
But before he could even get to it, he done passed out.
He passed out. I said, "Dang, how hard did he hit the boy?"
Mm,
I said he must have hit something important when he bumped into all that stuff or something. Or I guess
maybe.
maybe that headshot could have just been that tough. I don't know.
Or maybe it was a build-up. We don't know how often he been
Oh,
knocking him around. You know what I mean?
dang. That's true too. Poor kid.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's knocked out, but we see Mary pull up.
Mhm.
So next, the boy is waking up on her sofa, and he's like, who are you? Good questions. And she makes him eat something. And but he's like, I need my bag. I gotta go. She said, you're gonna get it back. He's like, I need my bag. And so, it's urgent for him because he don't want to get no more smacks and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So she's asking him, where he trying to go and all of that. He says, Back Bay. And she's like, what's in Back Bay? And he says, your mother.
He got a mouth on him.
He does. She keep, we're going to see this mouth
Mhm.
throughout the movie, okay?
Mhm.
So he wants to know if she's a cop and, asking all these questions. But she
Mhm.
asks him too. She asks him about the bag and, who gave it to you. And he says he'll kill me for talking to you. He'll kill us both.
Mhm. He's scared, as he should be.
Yeah, sure.
But she ends up feeding him and cleaning him up.
Yeah.
And she sees that he has the nastiest bruises and scratches on
Whew.
his back. And
Yes.
I mean, it's rough. That's
Yes.
why I said we don't know, you
You're
know,
right.
how often he been getting knocked around.
You're right.
'Cause now we see he got fresh looking,
Yeah.
bruises and stuff on his
Mm-hmm.
back. And so she asks him if Uncle did it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And does he respond? I
No,
don't.
he just looks like,
Okay.
yeah.
But she goes after Uncle anyway. Because she
Uh-huh.
already know.
Oh, she know. She said, I'm
Right.
going to teach somebody some manners.
Uh,
Oh,
right. So she takes the boy's bag to Uncle. And Uncle is like, so what? He said, just because you Benny Spencer's girl, don't mean I have to care about anything you saying right now.
mm-hmm.
Danny belongs to me.
Mm-hmm. She says Daddy belongs to no one.
Right. And she right. And so his goons, he got a few goons in the room with him.
Mm-hmm.
And they start to get up to, take care of Mary.
Yeah, but let me say this. Because
Mm-hmm.
Uncle says maybe in a few years, if I don't want him anymore, and if he's still alive, I'll sell him to you.
Yep.
And she says, I think you mean if you're still alive. That's when them goons.
Oh,
They're like, wait
right.
a minute now. She
Yeah.
threatening in here.
Uh-huh. And so she took them goons clean out.
Out.
Uh-huh. And Uncle was like, you ain't gonna kill me though.
Mm. I don't know why he thought that. I mean, I guess I know because he's important. He's a boss.
Right. But nope.
Psych.
She took him out too.
Mm-hmm.
And so she ran downstairs to the car. And you can tell she's a little shaken.
Yeah, because she says, I effed up.
Right. The boy is in the car and asked her what she do.
Yep.
And she said, I effed up. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly. It was
Because
like,
when you look at Uncle, he don't seem like he's all that important.
yeah, I give
You
you
know what
that.
I mean? He
Yeah,
looked kind of old and busted.
yeah.
you
No,
know?
I give you that. He don't look like the big boss. He look like he probably
Right.
worked for somebody else.
Yep. And
Yeah,
so yeah, she walked out and she was like, "Oh boy."
yeah. So then they go back to her fancy apartment,
Mhm.
and she gets a message and tells Danny she has to go out. But she's like, you can relax, enjoy yourself, make yourself at home, have anything in the fridge, but
Mhm.
stay out of my room.
Yep, that's her one rule.
hmm So when she makes it to her destination, we see this guy who is Billy, who plays Tom. So he says somebody took out Uncle and his crew. And I'm
Mhm.
like, she took out like 4 or 5 dudes, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it? That's the whole crew?
Hmm.
Unless maybe he's just saying that in general. Because Because I'm thinking, surely that wasn't all the people in the crew. Because if so, it's very much like what you just said. He couldn't have been that important if that's the whole crew. But anyway,
Right.
but he says somebody thinks that they did it. I think that
Hmm.
somebody might be the. Are they Russians? Look, Russians again. I don't know.
I don't know what they are. Huh.
Well, another family.
Yep, another crime mob family.
Yes.
Hmm.
And so then they meet up with Danny Glover's character, Benny. And so we see
Hmm.
he's in charge, and Tom is his son.
Yep.
And they're discussing what they need to do about the uncle situation.
Yep.
And they also flip back to Mary's apartment where we see Danny. And where is Danny?
In her room that she told him to stay out of.
Mm-hmm. Just like Adam and Eve. You got all these privileges. You got to do the one thing
Gotta do the one
that
thing.
you ain't supposed to do. So he sees all her guns and stuff.
And I thought, Mary,
Mary,
you couldn't lock these up.
agreed. Like,
This is a kid. I know
surely.
he know what he doing somewhat because he got his own little piece.
Right.
But she got a bunch of fancy stuff up in there. She don't know if he's stable.
You would think she wanted locked just for anybody that could possibly come in her apartment.
That's true too.
You know?
Yes,
You just
that
leave
is
your stuff
also true.
open for anybody to come find? No.
Anybody,
Yeah.
including an 11-year-old kid that you invited over to stay.
I agree.
Oh, that's insane.
Right. And you tell him to stay out your room, you know, that's gonna be
Right.
enticing. Like, what's
Exactly.
in the room?
Uh-huh. She knew better. She knew better.
And she should at least have a lock on her doorknob or something. She could have
Something.
turned the little lock.
Right.
So the next morning, she's back home and she's like, "You went through my things last night." How
Yep.
she knows, we don't know. But you know how kids are; they ain't gonna put stuff back right.
Right.
So he's like, "Why you got all them guns?" And she said, "You didn't see any guns. You understand me?" And then she got to leave again and tells
Right.
him, not to open the door for anybody, all the house rules. So,
Right. And she still didn't lock up them guns. Mm-mm-mm. Come
uh,
on, Mary.
come on.
Can I just say that Mary drives a really nice car?
Yes, you can.
I don't know what
Because
it is,
I feel
but
like
it's
it might be a
nice.
Maserati, but I'm not positive. I didn't look up the little emblem.
Oh, okay.
But,
It's so nice that I feel like she can't just be riding around town
see?
doing any old thing.
Listen, that is one of my issues with the movie. It was gonna come up later, but I said, how in the world are you riding around in this fancy car that's very recognizable,
Yep.
doing all this dirt? No, ma'am.
Yep.
Yeah, like did nobody see you do? No, no, nobody saw the silver. Like okay. So we
Right.
had the same thoughts on that. That's funny. I thought the
Mhm.
same thing. I was like, you can't.
Mhm.
If I ride around in my little car, people gonna be like, "That's Valerie over there," you know. And plenty of people got my car.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it is nice.
it's nice. Yeah,
So they end up, her, Tom, and Benny end up meeting with Uncle's family.
yeah,
Now, this man that they are meeting with is also old,
yes.
and he said Uncle was his father's youngest brother.
Huh. Okay.
And I know, certain families, because we got it in our own family,
Yeah.
where the nephew can be older
Oh
than the
yeah.
uncle.
Yeah.
But I just thought, you look way too old to be calling that man. That man look way younger. Not
Right.
way.
Right. Right. I
But
didn't even think about it.
I did. I was
Yeah.
like, really?
Huh.
Okay.
Girl,
But
he just
anyway,
said his family relationship, and it just like went in one ear out the other. I was like, okay, they related.
right. I said he looked about maybe 60, but you look 75. And that was your
Oh,
So anyway, they're meeting with Uncle's family.
yeah,
And Benny is like, if one of my people did it, I'll handle it.
yeah,
And Uncle's nephew is like, well, I don't care about all that. I want more territory. I want the
yeah.
west side or whatever.
Mhm.
And Benny was like, no.
Well, Benny didn't say. Tom was like, no,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, and Benny was like, we'll take it into consideration. Benny doesn't
yeah,
want a war, you know.
right,
He old though. Tom ready to go.
right. That's very true.
Tom like, look, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Right. And while they having this whole conversation, trying to figure out who killed Uncle and all them,
Mhm.
I'm just like, y'all got all this drug money and mob money and whatever,
Yeah.
and y'all ain't got a single camera or something to
You're so right.
show you who did it. I
Right.
mean,
You're right. I didn't even think about it. I mean, what year was this movie? It ain't that old.
2018. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You're so right. They should definitely have cameras. Only reason I could say they wouldn't want to have cameras is they wouldn't want to catch their own dirt.
Right. And I did think of that too.
Yeah.
Um, but I just thought y'all ain't got nothing.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
agree. I also think with that's what I was thinking too with the your security team.
hmm
I mean nobody knows anything.
Nobody knows nothing.
Yeah. And so at this meeting, they mention Walter.
hmm
They're like, what if it was Walter? Walter and Uncle didn't get along. They had some history. And at the time, I was like, who's Walter?
Well, this is after they met with the other family, right? This was just within the Benny crew.
No, this is when they at Uncle's house. I mean, Uncle's family house. One of the guys says Walter and Uncle had beef.
Okay. I must
Yeah,
have missed that.
yeah. Because he talks about, he calls him a pervert. Yeah, they call him a pervert. And so back when they are at Benny's,
Oh, okay.
they
I got
mentioned that, yeah. So back at Benny's, Tom says, we got to find out who started this. And of course,
right.
Mary walks in just at that time. And then she says, Luca said Walter and Uncle had bad blood.
She
Cause
said, let's give him Walter.
yes.
I
And
said,
right,
oh, she dirty.
listen, I didn't realize till the action happened the first time who Walter was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, I thought y'all were a family. Because the other family calls out one of your guys talking about they had bad blood, it could have been him. Y'all just gonna automatically go with it?
Yep.
Yeah. They're like, let's just give him Benny. And I said, sorry,
Walter.
Walter. Yeah, not Benny. Benny's the head. But I said, Walter, it's because you white.
Yep. Basically.
Because they would not have given him Tom, of course, but he's the son. But they wouldn't have given him Mary
Mm-mm.
at all. I said, oh, Tom, I'm sorry, but this is why. I mean, Walter. I keep messing his name up.
mm-hmm.
But Benny's like, Walter wouldn't do anything like that without my blessing. But that was it. No
That was it.
evidence. No evidence needed. And Benny asked her to do it.
Mm.
And then next we see Mary and Danny out walking.
Mm-hmm. They out walking in the park or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Mary ends up telling Danny that he doesn't have to worry about Uncle.
Yeah.
And then she's like, nobody has to worry about Uncle anymore.
Yes.
And he's like, ooh, you a badass.
Right.
And I was like, ooh.
Right.
And he starts asking about those guns again. He trying to put it all together.
Right.
And she always skirting the question.
Mhm.
Um, so she don't really say much. And they pass a hot dog stand. So she's like, let's get some hot dogs.
Yeah.
But while they're at the hot dog stand, across the street, we see Walter come out of his
Mhm.
house to go
Yep.
for a run.
I said she
They had
using
even
Danny.
mentioned it. What'd you say?
I said she using Danny to scope out his place.
Right. Because they had even mentioned that he has a daily schedule.
Right.
So she was just checking it out to make sure he still do his same thing every single day. So Walter went on his run, and she and Danny ate them some hot dogs.
Yep.
And now she got a plan.
Uh huh. And so then we see Danny and Mary. They sitting out by the water, and he's like, "This is his favorite spot."
Mm-hmm.
And he's telling her about his parents, that his mom left, and he stayed with his grandma
And
till
then
she
she died.
died.
Mm.
And I was like, dang, because his dad only died a year ago. So grandma
Right.
died soon after
Quick.
he went over there. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
But then he ran away because he didn't want to be in a foster home.
Yep.
And then Uncle found him.
I think he might have should have gone to the
Listen,
foster home.
listen. They might have found you some nice parents. Okay. Or you might have just had nice people to run the place. We had a
Right.
place. We were
Yep.
nice. Okay.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
everybody
Because
ain't nice
uncle
out
ain't
here.
what you want.
Mm-mm. You can't even buy you a pastry. Okay.
That's right. Oh, poor thing. Mm-mm-mm. So the very next day, Mary ends up following Walter on his
Mm-hmm.
run.
Yep.
And poor Walter, he ain't got a clue.
A clue. I think his family love him.
Right. He just wants to stay in shape.
Right.
And he started jogging under this bridge at one point, and
Uh
it's
huh.
nice and dark.
Yep.
And she run up and pop, pop, pop,
That was
took
it.
him out.
Mm-hmm.
Bye bye, Walter.
Next, we see some group open fire on Benny and his guys, and they take
Mm-hmm.
some of them out. And Tom wants to retaliate.
Yep, he ready to go to war.
Uh huh. So he goes looking for Mary and has a key to her place and
Mm.
lets himself in and sees Danny.
He
Now,
ain't got no business in there.
none whatsoever. But I also thought, young Danny, with all your street smarts, you couldn't hide.
I, th- I thought the same thing.
I was like, Danny, why you just standing there waiting for him to open the door? You hear the rattle. Like, this is your opportunity. I mean, and then he gonna turn the TV off. I said, these are amateur moves. Because now he knows somebody in the house. He could just left the TV on and went and hid. He could have
Yep.
thought that she just left the TV on.
Yep, that's true.
But now, so remember this, folks. If you have to hide, don't turn the TV off.
See?
Plus, that noise will help cover up your noise. See?
That's true too.
I watch too many crime thrillers.
Mhm.
So Tom asks who he is and what he's doing
Mhm.
there. They had this whole little conversation. He asks him where he's from and all of that
Mhm.
stuff. And tells him to tell Mary to call him when she gets home.
Mhm.
And so when she gets home, she finds him in her room again. And he tells her the time came by and wants to know what she does for a living because it ain't the security business. Because
Right.
Tom laughed when he said that to him.
He sure did.
And so he in her room because he mad. Like you ain't telling me the truth. But you know what I mean? That's what I got out of that. Like, I'm
Mhm. You
upset
right.
with you, so I'm gonna go through your stuff.
Right.
Child, I don't have to let you stay here. I don't know.
Exactly. You don't bring nothing.
Folks like really be, and I know you're a kid, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of a pass, but sir,
She taking care of him,
Yes.
feeding him, letting
Mhm.
him sit and watch TV all day. She ain't
Okay.
got him out there selling dope.
Exactly. You better enjoy this
Mhm.
life.
Right.
Shoot. So now they arguing, and he says, "You know what? If you want me to leave, I'll go." And she said, "There's the door. Go."
Right.
And his face dropped.
Right.
He about to burst into tears.
Right. She called his bluff.
Yes. And he's like, "Is that what you want?" She said, "Did I say that's what I want?" And and she see he about to cry, so she had to hug the little dude. But that's the thing, right? You don't know. She don't have to let you stay there, and you
At
acting
all.
like you some benefit to her when you're not.
Exactly.
And so if
Exactly.
you don't want to stay, that's what she said. Look, be free to go. And now your
Mm-hmm.
feelings hurt because you thought she was gonna beg you to stay. That's like some couples, right?
It really
You
is.
thought he was gonna beg you to stay, girl. He was like, "Well, get your stuff there,
Uh,
go."
That's
So,
exactly right.
but let me say, I don't know if I have seen Danny in anything else, but this boy
Mm-hmm.
is a great actor.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
feel like he is so good to be so young, and I
Yep.
thought he did awesome in this role.
Yep. Because I looked him up right before this, and he was born in 2003.
Okay,
So he was around 14 or so when they were filming.
okay,
Um, and so let me see. He was in a few things, or he has been in a few things. He was
mhm.
in We Have a Ghost. I actually never finished that
I
one.
think I
Sorry,
saw it. That's what
Anthony
Anthony
Mackie.
Mackie. Yeah.
hmm He was in Queen and Slim.
Oh, okay. I have seen him now.
He was in The Upside.
The
You remember
Upside
that one?
with Kevin
The
Hart.
Upside. Yeah.
Okay,
Those are the things that I see that
okay,
I think we would know him from.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and you've seen the New Edition story. He was young Ralph Tresvant. Tresvant.
Oh, wow. That's funny how
Yeah,
you
so he
see
been in some
people.
things.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just don't know them because you haven't seen them enough.
Yep.
But okay, how about that? Yeah, he good.
Mhm.
I enjoyed him in this.
Yep. And so we do find out that Tom and Mary used to be a couple.
Yeah, yeah. She tells him that. Um,
Mhm.
so that's why. Well, that's why he has a key.
Right. And because when she does end up catching up with Tom,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "You still got your key?"
Yeah.
And I thought, "You didn't take his key?"
Or change your locks.
Something.
Listen, that's on you.
That is definitely on her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, "You really expected him to just
Yeah.
throw it away on his own?"
Especially the way he acting here. He's saving it for later.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's just waiting, okay?
Uh huh. And so he says he used the key because he couldn't get a hold of her.
Yeah. He feel
Okay.
like, yeah, entitled. Like, he's
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't reach you anymore. You can call me back. Sir, we broke up.
We broke up.
Okay.
He too needy.
Uh-huh. Get over
Mm-hmm.
it. There's some other girls out here.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
And so he tells her about them being ambushed.
yeah.
And they actually know who did it because they have a man downstairs that they are torturing information out of.
Yes, it's too much for me, honey.
Mm-hmm. It was look too much for Mary.
Okay, she had to leave out. They shooting this dude with a nail gun. I was
Right.
like, whoo.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm a
I don't
wimp.
know why. I watch these movies and I still don't know why people want to be a part of this life.
I don't either. The money ain't that good. I'm sorry. What do you need? Like,
I just don't get it.
right. So you got a fancy car. You gotta always look over your shoulder. I mean, you got money. You can
Hmm.
pop bottles. You can, but yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the potential for being tortured too. Mm-mm.
Yes. Mm-mm. We don't want
I
it.
don't want none of it. And so she walks out the room because she looks disgusted.
Yeah.
And Benny follows her and tells her that they have a plan
Mm-hmm.
using the information that they just tortured this man for.
Right.
And then he's like, why don't you come on over? Oh, he's like, I hear you have a guest.
Oh yeah. Tom Big Mouth.
And Tom got a big mouth.
Big Mouth.
Yep. Tom got a big old mouth. So he done
Mm-hmm.
told his daddy about Danny.
Yep.
And so Benny is like, why don't you and your young friend come over for Mina's birthday party tomorrow?
Yep.
And so Mina, it turns out, is Benny's wife and Tom's mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she like, okay, because what
Yeah.
else she gonna say?
Right. Cause she know now they want to see the boy. He want to see the boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he also said that part of the plan was they found out that Luca was having a family meeting, and he wants
Mm-hmm.
her to go send a message. That's the other thing is that you can't speak code to me. You got to tell me what you want me to do. Okay?
Spell
Because
it out.
please, I need instructions because I will jack that thing up. But I thought you meant. I didn't know you meant for me.
I know you may kill everybody.
I thought you just said give him a message. Look, watch out. Watch your back. Okay.
We watching you.
You got to tell me. I don't read
That's because
through.
you and I in that life.
You're right.
Married in that life. You
Okay.
know what?
She's like,
You know what
understood.
that means.
Okay. Got it. And I'm like, okay. Woo. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know till she got there. I was like, oh, that's the message. Send them a oh, shoot. Okay.
Right. So the next day, she and Danny go shopping for clothes because he
Yeah.
doesn't have, of course, anything. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
She takes him shopping, and she tells him that she used to be just like him
Yeah.
until Benny took her in.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts telling him, don't tell him who you worked for.
Yeah.
Don't tell him, she starts giving him a little bit of a backstory. Don't tell him you knew Uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Don't trust Benny, no
Yeah.
matter how nice he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then she starts, we see her grilling him, like, what's your last name? And
Yeah.
what area are you from? And all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she prepping him
Yep. Yep.
because
She
she
trying
know
to.
Benny.
She
Benny
already know.
spy. Yep.
They gonna ask you all the questions.
Mm-hmm. They want the whole story, which is sad because I feel like he's just a kid.
Mm-hmm. They do
you
not
know?
care. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
They're
At
suspicious of
all.
everybody, but like you said, that life, you gotta be.
Yep.
Because he did work for Uncle. So imagine if he could be
Mm.
a spy if she
Yeah.
didn't know who he was, you know?
Right. Yep.
So
Yep. That's true.
so next week at the birthday party and
Mm-hmm.
Benny and Mary are dancing because mom, she was too tired. She didn't want to dance. So Benny danced with Mary
Mm-hmm.
and he says, you seem distracted. And she goes ahead and tells him that she wants to get out of the life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, we'll talk about it later.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time they dancing, Tom is at the dinner table giving Danny side eye.
This little kid,
Right.
like
Like
I
you
guess
jealous
another
of a little
man.
kid.
Yeah,
Exactly.
sir, get it together.
Right. And that's when we see Mina is Suge Avery. We
Yes.
got our little color purple reunion.
Right? That's too cute. That's crazy. I didn't even think about it. That means that, that's good acting, I think, when you don't even, think about the old characters that they
Mm.
played together. Because they
Yeah.
were a whole couple, even though he was married. They were a whole couple.
Oh, right.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, so then we see Tom and Mary talking, and Tom
Mm-hmm.
is going on about Danny, and so I'm, oh, I wonder why he said he lives in a different place than what he told me before. And
Mm-hmm.
he said he was from Jamaica Plains, but now he's saying he's from Dorchester. And so he goes on to say, there was a job in Jamaica Plains about a year ago, and there was a
Mm-hmm.
boy that was left alive. And,
Yep.
he's putting two and two together. Um, of course, he knows because she did the hit and said,
Right.
you said there was no kid. And she's like, there wasn't. But then she said, I don't do kids, and you know that. And so I think
Mm-hmm.
they fully expected her to take out whoever was in that house,
Mm.
including Danny,
Right.
because they don't
Yep.
want any loose ends.
Exactly.
Because that's what
That's
he's talking
true.
about. Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's like, is there any way Danny could connect us to that hit? And he says,
Right.
you better hope not.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So he even threatens to tell Benny,
Yes.
you know,
Because he got a big mouth. But also,
he gotta he trying to protect, protect them all, I guess.
yeah.
Uh,
And he's also trying to get at her though.
right. Because he immediately confesses that he wants her back.
Yes, and not only that, he like comes up behind her when I feel was
Mm-hmm.
inappropriate
Yeah, because she was
because
like, "What are you doing?" Like, she seemed
yes,
disgusted.
because y'all broke up. I'm like, what did you do to Mary, Tom?
Mm.
I think you did something because she too
You might
disgusted.
be right.
She too disgusted.
You might be
Um,
right.
yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna say anything to Benny. I just want things to go back the way they were. He wants to get back together. And
Mm-mm.
so, and I think he thinks saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna tell him. Keep your
Will
secret."
win her over.
Yes, it's
Yep.
not working.
It ain't.
She
Because
not
he's
going for
like,
it.
"Don't you still love me?"
Hmm.
And she says, "That girl will always love you.
Yeah.
I'm just not that girl anymore." I said, "Ouch."
Ouch.
Mary
Ah.
has moved on.
Yeah, she done with you, sir. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because all them muscles and everything, she don't care about them.
Mm-hmm. Because he got a lot of
They got
muscles,
a lot of
y'all.
muscles. Hey, Billy. I told Amanda when I started watching this movie, I sent her a text. You didn't tell me Billy was in this movie.
Right.
That's we love him from How to Get Away with Murder.
Yep.
The next morning, Benny said I can come over whenever I want. And then she gets emotional. I think because she has a job, coming up, and
Yeah.
also, she want to get out. She just talked to
Right.
Benny about it and all this stuff. But so she
Yep.
tells him if anything happens, and what she means is to her, really, to take the money in her room and go buy himself a nice life. And I thought that's a very sweet gesture. And I also
Mm-hmm.
said, how he gonna do that? I
11.
don't care. Right. I don't care if it's 50,000, 100,000, whatever dollars. How is this kid gonna manage to hold on to this money? No adult take it from him. And no, what he gonna get an apartment? Like he can't.
Yeah.
He's too little. So that's what you tell a grown person. I'm like, if you're
Yeah.
serious, ma'am, you got to set it up. You need to set up a trust. You need to go do this. You need
Yeah.
to do something, put something in place for him. He can't do it by himself.
Yep. Yep. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I was like, that's not gonna work, Mary. Sorry. So, So that night, Mary and Tom meet up for the mission. Um,
To
uh,
send a message.
to send a message. That's the mission. Exactly. And so he says, I heard you trying to leave again. And he says, is it because of me? And what's funny is Benny asked her the same thing. He said, is it because of Tom?
Mm.
And see, also that makes me wonder, what did you do that
What Tom do?
you think it's because of you? But then he like, why didn't you tell me? Sir, we broke up.
We over.
We're not together anymore. I don't have to tell you anything.
Nope.
Yeah. But he says this is not the type of life you can just choose to leave. No one
Eh,
leaves.
He's right.
He's exactly right. You got to
He's
sneak off
absolutely
into the
right.
night. You don't ask.
Exactly.
You
Mary
got,
ain't watched no movies.
thank you. Girl, you
Mary
got
don't know that this
come
about
on.
this lifestyle she living.
Right. Because we
Has she
do.
seen anybody get out? That's what I want to know.
You see
Has
what
she
happened
ever
to
seen
Walter?
anybody? Exactly.
Listen, you have to sneak off into the night. You got to get some
Mhm.
plastic surgery. You got
Yep.
to get you some wigs. You got to
Yep.
all the things, ma'am.
Exactly.
You're going into hiding.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
but it's not a game. Change your fingerprints if you can.
Right. Cause
Sure.
she she thinks of Benny as family
Yeah,
and Tom.
yeah.
So she, I guess, assumes that they would just let her leave. And I'm like, mm-mm.
No, ma'am. Especially if you're doing all this good work.
Right. Ain't no mob family I've ever seen been like, bye.
Yeah,
Have
go
a
enjoy
nice
your
life.
life. Yes. No. They're like, we got work to do. I need
Right.
you to go shoot up such and so. I need you to deliver these drugs and these
You
guns. I
either
need you to
working or
go.
you're dead.
Okay. I
That's
need you to
how it
run the
go.
casino, the restaurant,
Yep.
something.
Yep. Exactly. So Tom is completely right.
Oh, he is.
Mary just got a little delusional.
And she should know because Tom even said, you trying to leave again. So this ain't her first time having
Mm.
these conversations.
Yep.
I guess she thought time
Yep.
was going to wear them down. It did not.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope. And so this whole time they are outside Luca's mansion
Yeah.
and they are on a mission to, as Valerie said, send a message.
Mm-hmm.
Basically to retaliate
Yeah.
because, they were ambushed and
Right.
lost 5 men. And so they start taking dudes out.
Yep. One
And
by
I
one.
one by one. And it was quite a few dudes they took out before things got loud enough
Yeah. Because they were
that
outside at first.
mm-hmm.
And then in the house taking people down. But yeah, you're
Yep.
right.
But I thought, even with the silencer on,
Mm-hmm.
are guns really that quiet?
I think maybe. But what got
Okay.
me was the body thuds. I was like, even if your gun quiet, them dudes hitting that floor like boom. I mean, come on, come on, all the come on. I give you a pass on the gun,
Yeah.
but them bodies hitting that ground, I just don't believe
That's
y'all wouldn't have
I
heard
ain't even
nothing.
think of that.
That's what got me. I was like, okay,
Yep. So they end up in this big old gunfight.
yeah, and that's how like they got caught slipping. And so somebody snuck
Mm-hmm.
up behind them or something, and he shot his gun. Their guns ain't got no silencers.
Right.
And so that's when the family that was downstairs or wherever heard,
Mm-hmm.
and all HE double hockey sticks broke out.
Right. And so in the middle of this gunfight, Mary got shot.
Yep,
And when I say she took that bullet like a champ,
yeah, yeah,
because you see her get hit, but she don't flinch.
yeah.
She don't react.
Hmm.
She keep on shooting.
She's done this before. Okay.
Right.
I think that adrenaline is a thing too. You know, when you fighting for your life, you know, you ain't got time to like sit down and tend to your wounds. You
Mm.
got to get back to it, or they're gonna take you out. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so Tom, I guess after they done shot everybody up, Tom tries to help her,
Mhm.
get away. And
Yeah.
she actually pushes him away and
Yep.
runs off on her own.
Mhm.
And so Tom goes back home, and his father's like, "Where's Mary?"
Yeah.
And Tom tells him, "Well, she got hit. I assume she went to clean up."
Yeah. He said she didn't want any help,
Yep.
and Benny said she didn't want your help.
Right! And that's all it took for Tom to tell his dad, Benny, about Danny.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Because he got him in his feelings.
Exactly. She didn't want your help.
Right.
Again, I say, what did you do to Mary?
Right.
Because
And
Benny
so
know.
Tom, yep, Benny know. And Tom spilled them beans
He
real
sure
quick.
did. Big old mouth.
Told his dad about Danny and what he thought, you know,
Mm-hmm.
about her um keeping him.
Yeah.
And so now we know ain't no good gonna come out of this.
Nope. So Mary's at home, tending to her wound in the bathroom, and Danny walks in. I said, again with the no locks? Ain't no lock on the bathroom door either. Like,
Mary
so,
don't know what she doing.
girl, maybe she thought he was asleep because it's late, whatever, but come on. So he sees she's hurt, and he
Mm-hmm.
says, when you're better, we'll go, right? Somewhere far away. And she's like, he's never going to let me go.
Now, have they had this conversation before?
I think that, I'm trying to think, because you may be right. I'm not sure. But I know what you're saying because it seems like this is a repeat because he says we're
Right.
gonna go somewhere and kind of like we talked about. Let's go.
Right.
Right. So I don't know. I can't say for sure, but
Okay.
maybe just a little something.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was a little strange because I'm like, oh, all of a sudden you want to run off with Mary? Like,
Right. Right. I got you. Okay.
yep. But while they're talking, Mary just ends up passing out from
Yeah. She got real
bullet
sick.
wound.
Yeah.
And so Danny goes into her gun room.
Hmm.
We don't see him grab a gun,
But we know.
but we know because he leaves the house. And when she wakes up the next morning, he is still gone.
Hmm.
And all we see is him riding through town all night. And I thought, how far? Where he going? How
That's what
far?
I
How
thought
far?
too.
This don't feel right because he was. I mean, I don't know exactly what time she got home,
Right.
but it seems like it's been quite a few hours, and he's still riding on the bus or
Yeah.
the train.
Yeah. I was like, how far Benny live?
Right. And so it takes him all night to get to Benny's warehouse. At least I called it a warehouse.
Okay.
And as he's walking up the stairs, he hides a gun in his back. So that confirms he did take one of her guns.
Okay.
And he walks in like he big and bad. He tells Benny, "You gotta let Mary go."
Hmm. He
And
acts
I was
nicely.
like, he did. And I was like, come on now. I mean, I know you were, what was he doing? Selling drugs to that guy and pulled that gun on him and that
Yeah.
dude got scared.
Yeah.
This ain't that situation.
That's not. It's not the same caliber of guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm going
Uh
for.
huh. I know. It's not. Mm-mm. He the head.
Right.
He the head of his family.
Exactly. And so he pulls a gun out on Benny when Benny is like, no.
Yeah.
And Benny walks over to him, knowing this boy ain't gonna do nothing.
I think it's a risk. He thinking and hoping he not gonna do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And so while he's walking over to him, he starts telling him a little story.
Yeah. Because first he says he like go home and tell Mary I want to see her and get her some medical help because I heard she was hurt. And Danny says, nope. He pulled that gun out. He says, she doesn't work for you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Benny goes into his story.
Mm-hmm. And this ain't the story that Danny wanted to hear.
No, it is not.
And so Benny tells him how Mary was contracted or
Yep.
ordered to basically kill Danny's father.
Yep. Danny's like,
And
mm-mm.
right, you lying.
Right. Benny said she didn't find you. She was following you. I said, dang.
Mm. Yep. And so he ends up grabbing the gun out
Yeah.
of Danny's hands because Danny is just distraught
Yeah. Because he
at
like,
what he just heard.
yeah. Because Benny tells him she only taking care of you because she felt guilty. And she made
Mm-hmm.
you an orphan.
Mm.
Yeah, this ain't the same caliber, dude. He just got all in your feelings. He
Right,
made
just
you
like
drop.
he did with Tom.
Right. You done lowered your gun. You. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Benny is a mastermind.
Okay. And you gotta be the head of the family. Do all these
Yeah.
drug deals and do all of this and run the streets and the crime boss. No, that ain't for everybody. That ain't for the squeamish.
You right. So then Mary shows up and she pulls her gun on Benny.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "My debt to you is paid."
Yeah,
And he like, "Girl, you crazy."
pretty much.
And she's like, "I want to get out."
Mm-hmm.
And he says no again
Yeah.
and calls her an ungrateful bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Ooh, Benny never loved you, girl."
Girl. But he even says at the same time, in the same breath or whatever, you know how
Mhm.
much I love you. And she says, if you love me, then let me go.
Mm-mm.
No. He says, no, I own you. And
Mhm.
you're not going anywhere. And you going to train Danny to work for me too. How you
Just
like,
like I trained you.
yeah, how you like them apples? That's what we doing. So that's what we
Yep.
doing. You're not going nowhere. He's
Yep.
like, you understand me? Tell me you understand.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "I understand,"
Yep.
and shot him in the head.
Put that hole in his chest.
Shot him in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, she had told Danny before this, when she ran into the room, she told Danny to leave.
Yeah. Go
So
to the
Danny
car.
didn't witness, Danny didn't witness any of this.
Yeah.
So after she kills Benny, she got to make a run for it.
Right.
But when she get down to that car, Danny ain't there,
Uh-uh.
which I ain't expecting to be. Because
No,
he
not
just
after
found
what he
out you
just
killed
heard.
his father.
Yeah. Yeah. Ma'am. He through with you right now, okay?
Right. But she starts thinking and she realizes, I bet I know where he is.
Mm-hmm.
She has a thought. So then we see Tom walking into the warehouse
Yep.
and they got Benny.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Let me see him." So
Mm-hmm.
he goes up and he sees his daddy sitting there dead, dead, and dead.
Yep. He crying. Poor thing.
Yep. And so one of the workers is like, "I know who did it.
Mm-hmm.
I let this little boy in named Danny. Um, he said he wanted to see Benny, and I brought him up. And then a few minutes later, I saw him running downstairs."
Well, that's two different guys, right? There's one guy, the two guys at the door that let him up.
Mhm.
But the guy that's talking to him about knowing him is a different guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he says, "I saw him running out, and I've seen him with Uncle before,
Yep. And he said he
so
pulled
he
a gun on
knows."
me once.
Yep. And so now Tom is like, finna kill Danny, basically.
Right. Like, I know this little boy.
Probably both of them,
Yeah,
Danny and
because it's
Mary.
her fault. But
Yep.
he like, I know this little kid didn't come in here and kill my daddy. You know,
Right.
that would have been crazy. I thought he was gonna do it actually,
Oh,
but
you did?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I thought Danny was gonna do it
Hmm.
because he found him a new home. He trying to get away with Mary, and he in the way. But it's that
Yeah.
whole story. Benny was smart.
Right.
Yeah,
Benny got to him.
yeah,
Yep. And so Mary ends up finding Danny, and she tells him, I care about you. That's why I found you.
yeah.
And he's like, how did you find me?
Mhm.
And so she explains to him that she took his picture
Yeah.
and started showing it around. And
Mhm.
that's how she ended up finding him.
Yeah.
And she's like, they gonna come after you,
Right.
and I gotta fix it.
So Danny also tells her this story
Mm-hmm.
about. He says, "My mom left when I was 7, but she
Mm-hmm.
forgot to take me." It was
That was sad.
so sad.
That was sad.
He said she forgot to take me, and like you could tell, he didn't really even care about his daddy. From what he was
Nope.
like, she left me with this bum, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's still his daddy. He's taking care of him. We don't know how
Yep.
or how well, but he
Yep.
said she forgot to take me.
Yep.
I said,
That
this
was
poor baby.
sad.
Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. And I was like, I mean, it makes sense too as to why he loved Mary so much, because he got it's like a new mom.
Yep. You right.
Yeah,
And so Mary says she gotta fix it.
yeah,
She can't have them going after her baby.
right.
And so she goes home to go,
Get some,
load up,
yep,
get some weapons, because she got some business to take care of.
right,
But she leaves Danny in the car.
yeah. And gonna tell him, okay, if you see somebody, honk 3 times. I was like, isn't that obvious?
Isn't it?
Want to draw attention to him? Come
Right.
on, y'all.
They not thinking.
No.
They not
Um,
thinking at all.
no. And so, he does see people coming. He does honk the horn, but then he
Mm-hmm.
jumps out the car because like we saying, he felt
Right.
like he drew attention to himself.
Exactly. Yep. But they catch up to him anyway.
Yeah, they get him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, Danny gets caught, and then Mary. Oh, Tom sends her a message. That's what it is. He said, "We got the kid." And so,
Mm-hmm.
you know where Mary going? She going to get him. Okay. So Mary pull up, and Tom had already told everybody, I need everybody on all the doors, every corner. I need everybody, bodies everywhere, pretty much.
Yep.
And so when she pull up, they go to shoot. Because again, we say her car. Everybody knows her car, I'm sure. They
Mm-hmm.
shot this car up. Well, of
Up.
course, she didn't catch not one bullet.
Mm-mm.
And she drive that car and knocks the door off on purpose, right? And
Yeah.
then jumps out the car. I think, and the car slams into some guys. And then she starts shooting and taking dudes down. Okay. She took out about 20 dudes.
Right.
She did get one bullet. Okay. But she took out about 20 dudes. I said, who is Mary? Like, why Mary got all the training? I don't know,
Mary got
because
all the
she
training.
got all the training because she
Mm-hmm.
laying y'all out.
Yep. She and the whole time Proud Mary is playing
Oh
in
yeah,
the background.
right,
Doo doo doom doo doom 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 da dum dum. Yep. So she playing to the music,
right.
and she got stunts galore. And
Yes,
like you said, she done killed about 20, 30 dudes.
yes.
She done she done fought some of them off,
Uh huh. Yeah.
even with her own gunshot wound. I said
Yes.
she just passed out from this gunshot wound last night,
Uh huh.
and now she all right.
Now she all right. Now she kicking butt and taking names. Okay. Just last night,
Okay,
I put some
Mary.
antibiotic on it. Okay, I put some
Right.
Neosporin on it. I'm good now.
She woke up a new woman. Mm, mm, mm.
Ah. So she finds Danny, unties him, and then we hear Tom. We don't see him, but we hear him talking, and he says, "You killed Uncle." So he didn't put it together.
Mm-hmm.
He like, yeah, this it only makes sense, especially when he finds out that the boy worked for Uncle. So he putting it
Yeah.
all together,
Yeah.
and she tells Danny to run. She tells Tom she's leaving and not coming back, and he's gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
kill her. That's the only way he gonna
Mm-hmm.
avoid it. He's like, "You're not the mothering type." Okay,
And I thought he right.
dang. I didn't think so because she doing a good job with Danny. I mean,
She trying.
okay,
But
yeah.
like we said, she ain't locked these guns up.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
she ain't ready, but she
Yes.
trying.
Yes. She a hardcore mommy. She a street life mama.
Right.
And so she walks off, and
Mm-hmm.
he yelling, don't turn your back on me, don't walk away from me, all of this. And he's like, I
Mm.
will drop you.
Empty threats.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, you ain't doing nothing because you love her. And she
Cause he
knows
could have
that.
been shot her.
Yeah, he still love her. And that's why.
Mm-hmm.
You know you love somebody if they killed your daddy and you still won't shoot them.
That's
The daddy
true.
that you act like you love. I mean, I think you do
Right.
love. You did love. You was crying and. But
Yeah.
you still can't take her down? Listen, don't
Yep.
mess with my mama. Okay.
I
Okay.
know that's right.
So so he
Mm-hmm.
does shoot. But she quit.
She quit.
And she turns, she pulls some shelf down, and she gets him in the chest.
Mm.
And she walk over to him. She says, "I am the mothering type." And then she put one final one in him.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
She done killed Benny and Tom
killed them both.
and all the rest of they men.
Everybody, everybody did. Okay, because listen, when she go outside looking for Danny, and she yelling for Danny, yelling his name,
Danny!
yes, and they hugging and crying when they finally get together. And I said, "So ain't
Ain't
nobody
nobody
there?"
left. Ain't nobody left.
Because they just out here like,
Ah.
it's just a normal day, like
Mm-hmm.
nothing to worry about. I said, so she killed, and this is like how I felt when she got Uncle. Like
Mm.
that's it,
Yep.
that's it.
Yep.
So same here. Nobody, everybody was. I just the movie has some things, but yeah. So
Ah, movie magic.
uh-huh. So you want to talk about this last part?
So they get in the car
Mm-hmm.
and ain't no door. Like Valerie said, it's
It's
all shot up.
Thank you. Yes. Where are we going?
It
Okay.
shouldn't be working.
It should not.
And if somebody saw you driving this down the street, they definitely gonna be staring.
Thank you. The cops gonna pull you over, ma'am. They're gonna pull you over without question.
But she and Danny agreed to go somewhere warm.
Yes. I was like, okay, you done kill everybody. Surely somebody else got a car out here that you could
Right?
get. I know you know how to
True.
hot wire. I know you do. I know
Danny
you do.
probably do too.
Right. You got to get back in this old shot up, beat up car that done crashed, the door ripped off. Girl,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing.
Drive off into the
I'd
sunset.
rather them had just walked off. They should have just walked off. They done killed
Right.
everybody anyway.
Mm.
But yeah, but that's pretty much it.
The end.
The end.
Proud Mary keep on turning.
Turning. I don't That's right. That's right. Feel
I
right. Feel
don't either.
right. Rolling,
Rolling,
rolling.
rolling.
So, y'all, let us know what you thought about, if you've seen it, what you thought about the movie, what you think about the episode. Leave us some comments. Oh, I forgot. We ain't even said our review yet. Y'all don't pay me no mind. Look, I'm trying to go to bed.
Ah, right. I'm like,
Whew,
wait, what?
I'm about to shut this thing down. Whew. All right. So, Amanda, do you want to go and give your rating or any thoughts?
We rate movies in buckets of popcorn, 1 to 5. One being not the best or
Yes.
kind of the worst,
Yeah. Never want to see again.
and 5 being excelente.
Yes.
And so, when it comes to Proud Mary, I do want to say that they have an excellent cast.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Taraji, Danny, they are both or have both been pretty well known
Yeah.
even before this movie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Billy, not so much, but he
No.
was on How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
So we know he got good acting chops. And the kid, as Valerie said, was great.
Yeah. He's great.
Um, so we had a really good cast here. The story wasn't the best.
Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
there were some holes and things here and there.
Yeah.
But I do love a good action movie.
Mm-hmm.
I do love some action. So there was plenty of that. It was just, I don't know, not the best story, I guess,
Okay.
is what brings it down for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I'm gonna go with maybe 3.25.
Ah. Okay.
Cause I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't fantastic.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm gonna stay right there for now.
Okay.
How about you?
Okay. So again, this is my first time watching this because, truthfully, I never had any desire to watch this movie.
Ooh.
And I want to say that it's probably better than I expected it to be.
Mhm.
And but for me, it's all about Danny. Like Danny sold this movie for me,
Mhm.
because Taraji's character, um, you know, I mean, she's great, but you don't care about her really. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, she's a hit woman, right? Like, you don't
Right.
have no woman fuzzies. I mean, you feel bad that she can't just leave because she's ready to get out.
Yeah.
But for me, it's all about Danny. You know,
Yeah.
um, I just think I love the way he portrayed the character. I thought his storyline was really good. It's just some of the other players in the movie,
Mhm.
their stuff may be a little flat.
Yep.
Um, like Billy, all Billy got is the family, and he wants her back.
Yep.
Mary, it's all about the boy, and then the family. I mean, we don't get any glimpses of any type of normalcy, and I guess a lot of
Mhm.
families like this probably don't have normalcy.
Yeah.
So I thought Danny, not Danny Glover. I thought he was great. Of course,
Mhm.
he's typically great. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I thought, like you say, all the actors were really great. I
Yep.
think we just wanted more storyline
Yep.
for me. Because even when I watch, because I like a good mob boss movie,
Yeah.
Casino and
Oh yeah.
um, he he yeah um what's that other one? The old one I can't think of. But yeah, I enjoy that type of movie. So, but usually you'll see, and I guess we did kind of. We saw the birthday party. It was just a little small, I guess. A lot of times the mob boss movies they'll have the big big Italian
Oh,
dinner
right.
with the family and the this and the
Yeah.
that. And they got
Yeah.
the restaurant and they got this and they got that.
Yeah.
Not saying, it has to be all of those things, but it's
Yeah.
just more, it goes more into depth about the characters. And I think
Yeah.
that's why you kind of care about them more, you know?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
so all we know about Mary is that they pulled her in when she was a kid and now she's a hit woman. And that's what they
Mm-hmm.
do. They do drugs or deal drugs. We know that just because of Uncle and Luca and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's all. I would just like to see more. I guess it is kind of normalcy, them living
Yeah.
and some more family life. Like maybe if we saw Benny's wife more, or
Mm-hmm. Right. We
something.
saw her for 2 seconds.
And she didn't even want to dance.
Right. She said, I'm
Gross,
tired.
real small, right? So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I did. Okay, so I'm trying to see what do I want to rate it. How do we rate? I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I think. I think
Okay.
so, and I think a lot of it is because of Danny, the
Yeah.
young Danny, the boy Danny.
Yeah.
I just thought he was so good. You know,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
believable. Like even when he was tough, he was believable. When he was sad, like
Mm-hmm.
when he thought she was gonna put him out or whatever, or he could just leave.
Mm-hmm. The way his
Like
face changed, that was great.
yes, and so for me, he made this movie,
Yeah.
and I think that's why I'm gonna give it what I'm giving it, because he a little kid, he acting his butt off.
Mm-hmm.
So like I want to see him in more stuff, but he old now, so even though I have seen him and stuff, I just didn't know I was. But I hadn't seen this
Right.
movie either, so
Yeah.
this might be his best performance for me. I don't know. I would have to
Oh, okay.
I would have to go back and look at some of the other stuff.
Yeah. I
So
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, what else we got?
That's it for Proud
Okay,
Mary.
yeah.
Valerie mentioned last week that we are ending season 1 of Sisters at the Cinema today.
Mhm.
So we'll be back
Yeah.
in a few weeks
Yep.
to start up season 2.
Yes.
And if y'all miss us, go on and listen to some of these episodes again.
There you go. And y'all ain't listen to all of them anyway. Go on,
Right.
go on, listen to the ones you ain't listened to yet.
Yep. Go and
And
listen to them Supremes. Go and listen to that
yes,
Divorce in the Black.
yes, okay. Look, because it's like anything. Some episodes are better than others. She just threw out some really good ones for y'all. If you hadn't heard them, get on them. Okay.
That's right. And if you haven't watched the movie yet, go and watch
Yes,
that movie.
get on them.
Mm-hmm. You got homework.
There you go. And I'm gonna add to your assignment. Uh, if you got any movies you think we should check out, leave it in the comments. Send us a recommendation or on socials. We're on
Yep.
TikTok and Instagram. Send us your movie recommendations. Now, we're not guaranteeing to watch, but we'll take them all into consideration.
Mm-hmm. Just like
Yes.
Benny said in the movie.
There you go. Exactly. All right, y'all. We getting out of here.
Happy Black History Month.
Yes. And thank y'all all for, being here and listening, going through these movies with us. We appreciate every last one of y'all.
We do.
And we'll see y'all in season 2. Bye.
Bye.